Welcome to 876 Sports Zone. I'm your host Keithcooper, the wise one. Don't forget to like, share, comment, click the notification bell. Let's get into it. Yeah. As we say the weekend roundup, we say the VAR results. The VAR results are very bad. But this week, match day 37 of 38. Aston Villa 4, Liverpool 2. Man United 3, Northern Forest 2. Brenton 2, Palace 2. Leeds 1, Brighton 0. Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Sunderland 3, Everton 1. Newcastle 3, West Ham 1. Arsenal, Burnley will play tomorrow at 2 p.m. And Bournemouth will play Man City on Tuesday, the 19th at 1:30. But you see where the VAR system is not really working as we see it because it has been making bad decisions. Like last week in the Arsenal game, where last week in the Arsenal game, it has been at last minute that made a decision where one of the West Ham fouled the keeper. Not to say that other decisions have been making the same routine, have been wrong. So we don't think that was a foul. Because other Man City had also scored a goal, which Arsenal already scored a goal with the VAR system being wrong. So we have to check this VAR system and review it in the off season to get the right decision. Because in the season now, there are about 23 errors which have gone so far in the season. Also, we see that looking at Jamaican team, we see where they elected to keep Rudolph Speed. We think is a wrong decision because Rudolph Speed don't have a coaching license and has failed to qualify Jamaica to the World Cup. So we feel that is a wrong decision. It should be Michael Coley should get the work as Jamaican coach to bring them to the Unity Cup. Also, we see that the World Cup soon arrive, and we see where Canavillion has not made the World Cup team for France. They have brought Kante, one elder statesman, to the World Cup. We see Red the Ball and don't make the World Cup either. And Estevao of Brazil don't make the World Cup. But we see that other decisions which have made the season bad, where they have put in an extra time. They always use 3 minutes. Now they're using 6. But sometimes they don't follow the 6 minutes in the extra time. So we see that those things that the Premier League have to review. We see the Jamaica Premier League. Cavalier, they beat Waterhouse 4-2 to reach the semi-final, which they will meet Montego Bay United. And Portmore will meet Mount Pleasant in the semi-finals. It's a 2-leg semi-final. Also, we know that this season soon come to a prior end. Either Arsenal will win the championship or Man City. But we see Real Madrid is in a real mess. As we see, with 2 years gone so far, Mbappe, and there's a petition for Mbappe to leave the team from the fans. About 29 million fans signed the petition for Mbappe to leave the team because Real Madrid is in a crisis. It's 2 years straight Mbappe has been on the team and no trophy has been won for Real Madrid, which is a disgrace. Also, we see that Alonso, Javi Alonso has been appointed the head coach at Chelsea and has signed a 4-year deal and has signed as manager. So he has more control than any other coach that recently was at Chelsea. Man United, we're talking about Man United and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest and Man United. But since we're talking about Man United, in the season, them said I think they get an award for player of the year. Fernandes for him assist. Now the first half, it was an even contest. Man United had the ball 61% and Nottingham Forest 39%. You see where as the game started, Luke Shaw scored a goal and on second minute. And it was 1-0. So the first half ended 1-0. In the second half now, it was an evening start of game. We received Bouma. He missed 2 chances. And that letting Morata to score Nottingham Forest. Also, Cunha scored a goal, but a controversial goal, due to the fact that Muembo handled the ball, control and handled the ball, and then they dropped the Cunha, and it scored. But Vieira, the head coach of Nottingham Forest, was very unhappy that it stood, that the referee overruled, he never went to the VAR. He never went to the VAR to check to see if it was a handball, the VAR. So he overruled it and make the rules stand on the field, which was the goal. Which was very, so that stood. So that was 2-0. 2-1. And then Wembo scored, make it 3-1. And then in the final minutes, Wembo missed about 3 opportunities to score. Because in the season, Bruno Fernandes was looking at the record for 20 assists in the season. He was at 19. So he had passed it to Wembo about 3 opportunities. He had got a header, head over the bar. He had a next opportunity to kick it wide. Next opportunity, kick it over the bar again. And the final opportunity, he scored. So that it was 3-1 at that point. And then Morgan's White scored a goal, which didn't score. The keeper not even move. Keeper was standing in the goal and he just score. And he couldn't touch it. So it ended 3-2. Liverpool played Aston Villa. I was very disappointed about the result. 4-2. First half started good for both sides and they were attacking. But Aston Villa scored first. Watkins scored first. In the part, Rogers scored first in the 41 minutes. And then Watkins scored. And then it ended 2-0 first half. And then Van Dijk scored. And we see we are in the game think that most of the ball. At 54% of the game, and Aston Villa had 44% of the game. Liverpool had 14 shots, Aston Villa had 13 shots. 8 on target. Out of the 8 on target, 4 scored. So the first half is 2-0, and Van Dijk scored in the 58th minute. A header. And then later on, Aston Villa back with 2 fast goals by Watkins. And then what happened is that they got back, they scored again in the 88th minute. And then at the last minute now, they scored a goal. Van Dijk. So it was a good game for Aston Villa because that secured Champions League. Although Aston Villa is in the European Cup final. Also we see that they had performed well and they had beaten us 4-2. It was a one-sided game for most of the part because they dominated the game, although they had less of the ball. But I'm really disappointed how Liverpool played. The coach never played the right set. And due to the game, after the game, Salah came out and made some statements, which seemed that the coach was not picking the right side. So it seemed like he had picked the wrong lineup and left out the 16-year-old and some other. So we lost the game 4-0, 4-2, but it was a good game overall. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.
Description. Music sweet, I am number one. Music nice, I am number one.